Hi everyone, we are back and we're going to finish off this table runner. So I forgot that I actually had my second class was doing the quilting, but I think we'll finish this off first and then I'll show you the quilting side of it. So I'm just going to grab a pin cushion because I don't have one right next to me, and I'll be 2 seconds. Alrighty, so I'll get my computer up and running. I'll wait for you guys to hop on a little, and we'll be starting again soon. I've got it all pinned and ready to go. When you're on, say g'day. Let me know you're here, and we'll get started. So I'm going to pop this glove back on, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Now I have pinned all these down, so it is all pinned and ready to go. Okay, each centerpiece is pinned, and of course all the edges are pinned. Now a couple of them were a little bit skewy, I sort of clipped, and I'll sort of show you. I sort of tweaked them a little, and we'll show you how to get them sewn down. So I'm going to move this over, and I'm just going to pop those out of the way, some things out of the way, and I'm going to move the camera over, so bear with me while I adjust and stream that in closer. Get in there so you can see. Hopefully I don't knock it over. Okay, so what we're going to do first is I'm going to go around the center ones. Now you can go one at a time, which I'm going to go across, up, down, then come back and do the other side. So I'm going to start here, which means it's going to be, and it's not free motion, so it's going to be facing me. So I sort of have it sitting on my lap a little, and you'll see it's a little bit quirky there. I'm not worrying about that right yet until I get to it. I'll just trim that little bit of thread off. I'm using the same color thread. It's like a dark gray, and that'll be just fine for what we're doing. And I'm going to put my other glove on because that'll help me move it around. G'day Yvonne, how you going? So first things first, pick up your foot. Whoops, try again. Place that down there. Needle in the down position, and I'm stitching literally right on the edge of that, like 1/8 of an inch on the edge. I'm going to just back stitch a couple and just slowly top stitch that around. As I get a little bit closer, I can take that pin out. These are quilters pins, the big long arm quilting pins. I couldn't find the other pins, but these ones will do the job. Missed part one, but here, no worries, Heather. You'll be able to watch that on YouTube. I'm going to upload that one. All right, once I get to that center bit, I'm going to lift up, rotate her around. Alright, that's just me touching the foot pedal. I'm going to take one stitch over, that was 2, make it 3, there we go, to come to this one. Okay, g'day Pat, and then I'm going to lift her up again. This is basically quilting it as you go. So you can see I've got one stitch down, and I've done it about 1/8 of an inch off the edge. Now you'll need your walking foot when you're doing this. With this machine, it is industrial. I don't have to use a walking foot. It just goes through it nicely. So this one's a bit skewy from the corner, so you're going to sort of see me playing with it a little bit, trying to tweak it to get it nice. It might work, it might not, and that is all that was me not having the seam straight. Like that line that I drew wasn't straight, and it's created that little pinch there. So I'm just tucking the side one in, sort of making a meet, and keeping my finger, I put my foot on it and just hold it down the best I can and stitch right to that corner, nice and steady, guys. Then you're going to turn it, so lift your foot up, turn it right, oopsie days, got caught, right around, because we're going to come back down this side. To come back down this side, I need to lift my foot, foot up. I'm just going to come over a little, foot down, needle down I should say, and move that over. I'm going to turn that pin around the right way, it's the way I'm facing. Ouchies. That's why I use clips, not pins, because they bite. And I'm coming around this one. As I come around, I'll release that pin. Hi Jimmy, coming into that corner, and I'm holding it really firm and flat in there with my pointer finger. So I've got it flat underneath and straight into that corner there. And one more, I'll just manually do it. Then lift, turn it, and I'm going down this side. So I've gone one side, up and down that. So one down the center on one side, up and down the middle there of that block. Put the foot back down, take a stitch over, and then stitch your 1/8 around on the edge. You could use a monofilament thread if you don't want the stitching to show. You could do it by hand if you really want to. Some people just enjoy hand sewing, and that is perfectly okay, and you can hand sew them down. Gives you the ability when you hand sew them to sort of pull and tweak things a little bit easier. I thought I had a bit of a skewy bit, but I didn't. So as I come into that center bit where they all meet, put your finger on it. You have to put your foot on it, do that. Alright, come right into that center. One more. And up, turn it, down, one step over, another step over, until you get onto this one. Pick it up, foot pedal, just move that out of the way. Oops, pop your foot down, and you're going to, oops, wrong way, and you're going to sew around there. Pin out as you go. That'll get annoying. And up here is another one that's a little bit skewy. I've got a clip in that to hold him down as I come up closer. Sort of do a bit of pin, like tucking. Bite my tongue the right way. As I come in, got a little bit of thread there. I'm just going to trim off because it'll annoy me. Tiniest bit there. And I'm going to stitch right into that corner, and we're going to lift, turn it around. Now you notice I'm not doing the outside yet, I'll do that last. And I'm going to needle up, needle down, needle up, needle down, just till I get to this one, and stitch around there. Pin out and face the right way, I think. So we'll do that, we'll come down. I also thought that maybe later on today if you like, after my 2:30 one, we could do a little quick demo on, just going to push that under, coming into that centre bit there, on doing some couching on the sewing machine. That might be something you might like to see. Stitch up and stitch down just until you get to the next one. Lift up your foot and turn it again, foot down, and off you go. You should be able to, it's a nice curve, you should be able to pretty much just manoeuvre it around without too much hassle, without lifting and turning the needle, lifting the foot up and all that jazz. Should be able to do that. Now this is that one that I caught that stitch over, so I'm just going to push down it really hard with my finger to really push it in place, make it behave itself. And as I come around, I'm going to make sure I get my needle into that and lift up and turn. G'day Doreen. Turn back. Now this has pins everywhere in it, so it's biting me. Needle up and needle down until I get over to the next one. And I'm going to turn this one because it's going to need to be turned in a minute. I'm going to get ahead of that game. And we're going to come around this one. The other thing you can do, if you don't want to quilt it, you can put this in an embroidery machine and you can embroider on it as well. That's another good thing to do with these. Kathy Herbert, hi, how are you? Yeah, I thought maybe after the 2:30 class that I do with Gix, so around about, probably about 3:15, could do a little demo on couching. If you've got a westerly ruler foot and you've got the decorative one, a lot of the times I'll send out a decorative one and not the other one, not the normal one, because you can couch with it at the same time. Very hot here too. Yeah, one of the neighbour's dogs got bit by a snake yesterday and passed away. Eastern brown. Poor thing. If you were making a big quilt, you could do this as you go. Yes, yeah, you can quilt as you go. Yeah, absolutely. You could do, once you've joined a couple together, you could do a couple of these inside ones. You could do a strip and then do the inside ones, and then do another strip and do the inside ones, that sort of thing, just so that you're quilting as you go, you're less hassle. Yeah, it's been very hot and dry here. Good weather for snakes, unfortunately. Yeah, look, unfortunately it happens here, Jimmy. We have a lot of bushland here, a lot of bushland, and we have also a lot of, this is another one, I'm hoping it doesn't break my needle. We also have a lot of grassland as well. There's a lot of farms. We had a hailstorm last night. It was nice this morning, but it's 7:37 at the moment. Oh gosh. Yeah. Oops, I just picked up my needle, which means I've lost my spot. Get back over there, put my needle down, and go one step. So this was one of those corners, those points that I had to tweak a little, and come on, under you go. Perfect. We'll go up any further. Oh yeah, well, a little bit further. There we go. That'll be a bit easier. Yeah, it's a bit of a byproduct of living in the bush, and you've just got to, you know, whenever Candy goes out for a wee break or whatever, and you just got to know where they are and keep an eye on them. You can't, you know, make sure that you've got enough clearance around your property that you can see things. Some people don't. I was just in Ballarat an hour ago. Not as hot as here. It's home. It felt as if you'd done back down into Marsh, how hot it was. Oh really? We have tiger snakes and browns here. We have a few varieties here. We have red-bellied blacks, we have tiger snakes, we have brown snakes. They all like the warm weather. We get black snakes as well, not as many. Red-bellied blacks, I think I said that. Majority of the time it'll be a brown, or it'll be a tiger. 34 in sunshine, so it's sunny in sunshine. So as you come into that centre, push down nice and hard. Yeah, so just getting back to this thing, it's a real quilt as you go project, which is great. Ouch. Great scrap buster if you've got little bits of fabric. Just make sure I'm not bleeding on anything. So yeah, if you've got sort of lots of, you know, 10-inch squares, or, you know, something similar to a 10-inch square, and you can cut up your pieces of fabric, it's a ripper for that. Because you can use them and you'll have a decorative back, you know. You can use 2 layers of wadding if you want to get a nice thick puffy feel to it. Just going to go a couple of steps. Wait, get down. Pick it up, move it over. And stitches, stitch, stitch. Yeah, we get a few of them here. Often wondered how it went. Together. Yeah, this is how it goes together. It's really quick and easy. A little bit of fiddling, you know, just in those points, just to get them, you know, no different to any other bleeding point, you know. But like I always say, you know, don't try and go for perfection. Just play with it, get used to it. I'm finally back, big week with twin grandsons born prem. It's just what I needed today. Oh, good to see you back, Claire. Hope the bubbas are good and healthy. That's the main thing. I had a preemie, which was Boo. Becky Boo was preemie, 7 weeks. I use denim needles for this type of thing. Yes, Gidget, you can use denim needles. I use a size 90. It's a little bit sturdier, and I use the titanium ones, which basically work the same as a denim. Turn it around, and when I get to the end, I'm basically going to do the same thing but on the other side. And once I finish this center bit, doing these sides and everything, then I'm going to do the outer edge. Not doing that until last. Alright, so now I'm right there. I think my needle is just in the fabric, so turn it around gently and take one step forward so we're connected. Just changing my needles around, my pins I should say. That way, that way. And go down the other side. So go down the center one to get to that point in the middle. And then lift, turn, push that under, get it in the right spot, foot down, a couple of steps, get it lined up and go on the outside. And like I say, if you don't want your thread showing here for stitching down, use a monofilament thread. That'll work really well. I'll get that later. Just going to the end, turn it. Just take one step over, couple. Tuck that in. I just got bitten by a pin. God, I love clips. But you still need your pins. Can't put a clip on the inside of the fabric. That just doesn't work. Yeah, so would you like to see some couching done? Some free motion? I thought maybe you might like to see something a little bit different. We haven't done it for a while. And I'll do that about 3/4 past, probably 3 o'clock. It'll only take half an hour. And then we'll have 4 o'clock live sale. Just, oops, frightened me. That way, that way. I'm just changing my pins around so that they're in the right direction. Yeah? You want to see some of that? All right, beautiful. So let's go around here, pin out as you go. Yes please, not C per C, but I will listen. Yeah, C per se, yeah, no worries. Yes please from Doreen. Okay, cool. All right, well if you're interested in it, I will do that for you. Anything for you people? Anything. Notice I said people, Jimmy. I'm getting better saying instead of saying, although you are one of the girls. Oh, is G here, is she? What are you doing, G? You should be resting and on holidays. I can't see G. Hopefully the internet plays nice after yesterday, little Scheitenhausen. Decided it wanted to be a poop. That's the technical term, by the way. For those who don't know me well. That's right. I'm trying to be good though. You want to be one of the girls, and there's a heap of people out there who don't want to be known as he or she. Go figure. I've got a child that wants to be known as neither. Makes it very hard some days. Very hard. I keep forgetting and calling him he and him, and yeah. Then I feel bad. My end is freezing every now and then. I can't see it freezing on my computer yet, so I'm hoping it's just your end and not during the recording, because that'll be annoying. Right into that middle. Are you trying to make up for your daughter's slip up yesterday? She was such a Scheitenhausen, wasn't she? Oh my goodness. I mean, I swear, but not on live. Like, not like that. That was, she dropped the F-bomb. I mean, it's funny, but it's not everyone's okay with that. You gotta have a little decorum. Although I did lose my decorum yesterday somewhere. Dear. Alright, so that's going to be one of those cranky corners, so I'm going to try and train it to do something else. I found it funny, said Louise. Yeah. It was funny, yeah. She's pretty. I mean, she's just like me. She's the spitting image of me, except in, a younger person. Hi, Maxine. It's only a word. It is only a word. Some find it offensive, though. I try not to be too offensive. Have my bad days with offensive. Oh dear. You see that message from that idiot and that I've sent back a message going, you are a real idiot. Like, you've picked a person who has dementia for a start, and then you don't even read the messages that I sent back to you. You just send your spam stuff. Like, dude, wake up. If you're going to be a scammer, at least be good at it. Sometimes it just happens. Michelle, I am in withdrawals at the moment. Have you not picked up on my V1 for 2 weeks? You have not picked up on my 4 for 2 weeks. What's that? Funny as a circus, yeah. Circus clown. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. You're having withdrawals. Oh, because I'm not taking the mickey. Is that what it is? What have I missed, Jimmy? I am pretty vague sometimes. So you've got to remember that. On your vibe for 2 weeks. Oh, vibe, maybe? Says Janie. What have I not picked up that you put down, Jimmy? You'll have to send me a message so I know what you're talking about. Because I'm pretty daft, really, when it comes to things like that. If you're not sort of saying it straight out, I don't know what you mean. You can't give me a hint because I'm useless with hints. I was bad at charades. No, taking the mickey out. Oh, okay, it was that. Hey, I did it the other week. I was telling Mary. Was it Mary? Who was I telling? Someone I was telling. We were talking about your ears might have been burning. Do they work? They do work. The runner is looking awesome. I'm going to try this now. I know how it goes together. Yeah, it's really not hard to put together. It's just getting that pinning and, just forcing certain areas. Oops, that was a bit far in. Some of those points in the middle could be a little bit... Yeah, was it 2 weeks ago already? Oh, I am slacking off, aren't I? Good Lord. See? Anyway, I was saying to him that your only fault is that you're a male. Other than that, you're really quite, there's no disability other than that. That's your only real disability, but... I have made cathedral windows years ago, but they were tiny. I'd forgotten about it. Yeah, you could. So you can do this exactly the same way. You can cut out your squares smaller. Use a smaller template. I mean, you'd have to do it manually. But yeah, you'd have that get the same effect. Oh, this is one of those corners, isn't it? Be nice to Mummy. Okay, down we go. Put down, needle down. I know I am a male, but here I am, one of the girls. Do you sell the gloves you have on, Shelley? I sure do, honey. These are Marcia Beraldi's. You ask the girls who use these quilting gloves. I don't have to give them a spiel. The girls will tell you. Those who use them. Who's got the gloves? Tell Shelley what they're like. Whether you think they're worth their money or whether pass and go on to a pair of garden gloves. Male. Make? Male. All right, so we're almost at the last one. There you go, Louise. Looks at his iPhone. No point doing that, Jimmy. You're bloody blind. Someone forgot to tell you. Don't be looking at your iPhone. It's useless. They're well worth their money, says Jimmy. I had an idea it was different. I had an idea it was different way of doing it, and I did it by hand. Yeah, I did too many years ago. 42 they are. Janine says they're brilliant, fabulous gloves. All right, we're almost up at this last little bit here. This is one of those tricky corners. So I'm going to actually reverse sew here and cut off. Now I'm happy. All right, so the centre's sewn. Look at that. Okay, and it's stitched on the back as well because we've quilted as you go. Nice. Thanks. Can you add a pair to my order? Sure can, honey. So now we're going to do the edge. Now normally I wouldn't cut off. I would literally turn it and then start stitching around the edge. But this one in this corner is a little bit skewy and I have to put my foot on it to make it work. So bear with me while I bite my tongue and tuck her in like that. Tuck her in. Go back on there. Don't worry about the one behind it. I just want to go in there. I'm just going to do a couple of stitches forward and a couple back to that spot I started at. You can add a bit of my Louise. And I'm going to now go around the side. Now I'm going around the ends. I'm not going around the edge. I'm going around the curve. All right. So FYI, curve, not the edge. So if you need to, like I'm doing right out now, you can move your pins. If you didn't see that, Jimmy, just saying, if you didn't see that, I just stabbed myself with a pin. You know, this goes on YouTube. People will wonder what the heck I'm talking about. All right, Jimmy is a customer friend slash sewer who is blind, legally blind, literally blind, and he sews. An amazing man. But he loves when I take the Mickey out of him. And if you're not from Australia, then Mickey is, well, taking the pee. Shall I say to myself what you really think? Not making fun of, but laughing with that person. Because this will go on YouTube and people will wonder what the heck I'm doing, picking on some bloke, poor bloke. All right, so you get to that corner bit. Now, I'm literally going to take one step forward, two step forward, so I can grab that. Then I'm turning it again to get onto this edge. And if you notice, I'm having to adjust my pins. I could have thought about that earlier, so that they face the correct way. Yes, whenever I stab myself with a pin, I always think I do love clips. I really do love clips. All right, so coming up to this one, and as I come around, right around, I get close to that. I'm seriously tucking that black in, that under fabric, and I'm pulling that corner into a point. And again, I'm sticking my foot on it, biting my tongue, and making it go into that corner, grabbing it, extra stitch. Evil pins, they are. Caroline, they are. Straighten up, because I've got to go across now. Straighten up, foot down, a couple of stitches over, and I just do that manually. That just helps pull it over. And turn this one. Just be careful not to pull them in too tight where it makes sort of curve funny. Jimmy goes running to the corner, dives under the quilt, cowering in the corner. Oh, stop it, Jimmy. You're full of it. You're so not that kind of person. Half of America are going to spam me with hate mail. Because they don't know how we are in Australia. There's always blood when I sew. It means to the old blood, sweat and tears comes real. Coming into that corner again. My finger pushing down really hard. Keep that as flat as I can. Turn it. And again, a couple of stitches. 2, 3, one more. And then turn it in the direction I've got to sew. Silly pin facing the wrong way. Half of America will need to get used to Aussie. Yeah, they would if they're watching me. They'd have no idea what I'm talking about. Oops, got my pin under there. Come out. Oh, I sew with a pack of band-aids beside me. That's why I like clips these days. As often as I can, I will use clips over a pin any day. I'm just sticking my finger in there where it shouldn't be. Watch out for Jimmy in that corner. Louise, you'll end up there as well. Sew across. 3 or 4 stitches. You can see it's starting to come together now, really taking shape, literally. Fluff everywhere. If you want it, lucky I can take you to the kitchen, and my iPad cooking lunch clips are the best, love them. If you want it fluffier or thicker in here, you'll need to add an extra bit of wadding in. I have done a demo where you add an extra or add a bit of wadding in there. You can add a second piece in there, like a really high dense one, like Dacron or something like that. That can work really well. Dacron's the stuff we use. It's about that high. And we use it when we do things like trapunto. So really high, dense stuff. They use it in cushioning as well, on the tops of cushions. So lift your foot, make sure your needle's down, because that'd be really annoying if you lost your spot. Stitch along a couple, and again, move your foot around, take that pin out so it doesn't bite you. Put your foot back down and off you go. Just rolling this as I go, makes it easy. This one looks pretty good. Looks like I've already had a go at it. This is one of those tricky corners. If you've got any questions at all, the templates are $25 if you don't already have one. Thread shredder, best friend, $33. Love my thread shredder. Gloves are $42. I've got to remember to write one down for Shelley. Now this corner was really skewy because I think this is one of those ones that I accidentally sewn the edge along crooked. So I've really done some ducking and weaving. So we're just gonna go with the flow. If you wanted to, you could tape these down, like put a bit of sticky, you know, that adhesive stuff down, but I think it'd be a waste of tape. I think pins are enough. You don't want to waste it. Just chuck that in there. Get to that point. This is one of those ones that have not played nice with me. So tuck him in. Fingers crossed that works reasonably well. So any questions at all? No questions? Either that or you're all gone to sleep, just saying. I'm awake, says Jimmy. You might be the only one, mate. Still there, said Louise. Yeah, we're nearly there. And I'll show you how to quilt this one. I'm not going to do this free motion. I'm actually going to do this, well, just with the same foot I've gone on. So if you were doing this yourself at home, you have your walking foot on exactly like you would. And I'm going to show you what to do. Something really quick and easy. And it's done. It is quilted, girlfriends. Quilted. You're there too busy watching you. Alright. And one. Wait, missed that. No, still awake, watching you on laptop and watching you on the YouTube. Love your voice. On the quilting gloves, being blind, using my fingers as eyes, I can still quilt with full sensation in my hands with no loss of tactile. That's exactly right, Jimmy. It's perfect for someone who is visually impaired and uses their hands as their eyes. And me personally, and as female, menopause, wearing gloves that cover my whole hands and my whole wrist just about send me, you know, berserk. So I prefer not to use gloves that have, you know, that. So the old menopausal ticky-tock thing. But those who don't and just need, it's got to go under. There we go. Yes, it would. Okay, I'm going to get close to coffee time. Yes. Yeah, it's going to be close to coffee time. we'll be finished this soon, won't take long. The quilting side of it goes very quickly. This takes the longest, I think, other than putting it together, of course. Let's redo that. Yeah, I know what you mean. We've only got about 3 more to do. Yeah, it does. Yeah, the menopause, having things covering your wrist and your whole hands, and because I do a lot of tactile stuff myself, as in thread work and changing threads all the time, I found that not being able to, having to rip the gloves off, put them back on again, re-rip them off again to change thread would just about send me burlesque. So I found that these just, they hit a few, you know, goals in one, really. One. Heard that a lot. I'm doing my work here. Getting there, almost there. Just gonna, because I don't have my finger saver, so I'm just going to put my scissors on there. If you had your finger saver, you would put your finger saver there, rather than taking a chance of ruining your good scissors. Oh, wee tweezers, even. I have used tweezers like that too. A full gloved hand can be a little dangerous, as you would feel as your see your correct finger positions. Yeah, exactly. You would use your finger. Yeah, okay. You wouldn't. No, that's right, Louise. Especially if you're vision impaired. I think if you can't have your fingers out to actually see. Can be quite hard. Gloves that cover the whole finger really become quite pointless. Okay, we're done. So that is now bound. Can I please get a finger saver with my order? Lynn Moody, yeah, sure done. Oh, my order's over here. Finger saver, they're only $3.50. And then Marshall, sorry, not Moody, Marshall. Yep, got it. All right, so now just wring that out so you can see. Can I get the finger? Yeah, awesome. So there it is. All right, so all done, ready to go. So let's quilt this. Really easy. We're just going to follow 1/4 inch in around this thing. Same foot. If you're using a walking foot, it's the exact same thing. We're not changing anything. I'm not even changing thread. So let's put that camera down. No worries, Lynn. And show you what you can do. Now this is, it's a little bit baggy, so I might even, come on, I'll start around about here. Actually I might go 1/2 inch, that might help. And to do that I'm using, because this machine has like a little wire thing, if you don't have that you can measure out, okay. I'm going to make this top stitch bigger, about 4, and off I go. Is it stitching? Come on, stitch, stitch. Why are you not grabbing? Don't you not grab? Oh, yep, it's grabbing. Good. Lift up. turn. So I'm coming up, and then as I come down into this point, I come in a little bit closer to about there. I'm just using my foot as a guide. I don't know, you can iron it if you want to, if you really must iron. I think if you iron it, you probably just iron creases in. So up. Down, lift up, go around. I'm pulling it tight so it tries to help avoid that sort of pushing in thing. Whereas if you iron it flat, it'll create like a creasy thing. And up and around. Now, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. There's no right and wrongs. It is what it is. It is all up to you and what you want it to be. I'm literally just going to trim that off because this is only a demo piece and it doesn't matter. You would bury your thread or tie off properly. Okay. So I've just stitched around there. That's quilted. It is done, baby, done. Pick up the next one. You could start in the center of there if you want to. If you want to just sort of start in the point. Get up to there. You sound like my youngest daughter when I'm at her place. She tells me not to teach her ironing board bad habits. That too. How ridiculous. So gloves make me able to push down and separate and hold that fabric nice and firm. There's another one. So you don't have to do it to all of them. You can do it to every second one. You could go, right, well this one I'm going to go, all right, I'm going to do the ends. I'm going to do every second one like that. So this one I'm just going to go, all right, stitch straight from here to here, straight across, straight line. Meow. Then you can go into that center bit there. Lift up, turn it over. Whoops, I cut off. Go down. And start there. And come straight across to this side. And then cut off. Come over. Oops, I missed a stitch or two. Try again. Come on. What am I doing? Why are you doing that? Come down here. Now, there we go. And then I'm going to come from here, across, so lift up, stitch in there. And as you come across it, because it'll want to pucker up as it meets that other seam you've just done, pull it taut. And into that center bit, lift up, turn it that way, and you're going to come across it. Oh, I've missed it again. Silly the arch. I'll get it in the next minute. I get it. I get you. And come down here. And cut it off. So to meet that one, I need to come in here. Just meet up with that, cross over, cut it off. Okay, so those two are done. You can then do the curved one again. You can, whatever you like. So I'm going to go curved, turn that over. Now you can, as you start sewing them, you can start clipping them down to keep them out of your way as well. Sometimes that helps when you're doing your quilting, is to keep them out of your way. Turn it, keep stitching to that corner, turn it, keep stitching to that corner, turn it, oops, I cut off again. You silly woman. Why do I keep doing that? Please answer. Right. Try not to do that again, Michelle. It's ridiculous. It's about the 6th time I've done that. I think I've thrown the scissors off the table somewhere, the other ones, so I have to use these. My duck bills are gone. They flew away. So then I can go and do this one. So I can alternate so that I don't have the same pattern in each one. There's no right and wrong. You can do what I've done before with the templates. That's always cute to do a little template design in there. Also means you don't have to think too much. But if you just want to get it done and quickly, this is your go, Joe. Oops, that was a bit skew-ed, but it'll be right. And you can see my thread because I'm using the grey, which is purposely done. But when you do it yourself, you would use a thread that actually matches your fabric. So then there's those ones done. So then we just fold her over again. Oops. There. And I'm going to do these. So I'm going to go all the way across there. So I'm going to go from here, this point, and stretch it out so you've got a flat bed to sew on. Lift it, turn it so the other side, flat bed, stretch it out, take your fingers out of the way, trim off. Then we're going to come from, we need to go this side, this one. And aim for the other side. If you want to, you could draw lines first if you're not comfortable with just going straight across. Oops, I've got to go back a couple. Go back one. Thank you. And we're going to come down this way. Straight across. Oops, a days. Made a wobble. Alright, so that's that one done. Now we're going to do the curves again. So starting here, try and get that to pick up. For some reason or other it wants to be funny when I first start. Into there, lift up and turn. And you see how it's a bit baggy? When you come into that corner, you need to pull it out taut so that it helps the machine flatten out that fabric a bit. in there, turn it all the way around. And you can see if I don't, I've got this baggy bit in here, if I don't get onto that before I get there, I'm going to end up with a big crease. So as I come around, I will pull that out. Oops, wrong way. So that I don't end up with a crease. Is it sewing? No, it's not. Of course not. Get back over there. Pick up that bobbin. Be nice. Oops, cut it off again. And here again, it'll crease up if I don't give it some sort of movement there, so I have to push that fabric aside and allow that needle to stitch over without making a mess. Too much of a mess. Then I'm on my last one, so I'm going to go straight, so go in this corner, straight up to there. You can see it's starting to do that bagging thing. You can lift up your foot, help release that fabric, and pull that out. Cross down here. That way. Then up in this corner. And again, if you don't pull that tight, you're going to end up with a pinch. And if you do find the fabric doing that, you need to lift your foot up and release that pressure of that foot. Turn it. Come back into this side. And she's done. She's done. All right, let's turn this up. Oh, hello. All right. Don't fall. She's done. It's not perfect. It's done. It's definitely quilted. You give it a good press. Cut off all your threads because I've got a few little threads hanging around. Thought I'd cut most of them off, but I missed a few. And one side's got the curve stitching and the other one's got the cross, and it works out right. And there's your table runner. Now, quilt it as you go. If you do it reverse, put the hole in the top fabric, okay, the coloured fabric, then you'll have a black outline. The black will be this, and your colours will be in here, okay? So that is how it's done, and it's you don't really need a pattern as such. You just need to watch the video 30,000 times over video, and you'll get it. You will get it. If you don't like the puffiness and the way it comes out a little bit, you could stitch that flat along the edge. That will help push that fabric out. Personally, I don't mind it. That doesn't bother me at all. It's sort of just a part of it. Again, you can do it by hand, you can do it by machine. Okay, so you want to make half sizes. You want to do placemat type square placemats. That'd be a big placemat. You know, any of those. All right, so thanks Janine, thanks Shelley, thanks everyone for joining me. I will see you at 2:30 with Gix. We're making the foundation piece. It's table runner. Table runner, Kayleen. We're doing, oh, you can, if you don't like your center bits too, buttons. Buttons. Just saying. Buttons are amazing when it comes to things like that. Yeah, so we're doing the oven mitt, and it does. It looks cute, doesn't it, Kerry? And you can do it. You can do it on your home machine. You can do it with your walking foot, and you don't have to do any free motion quilting if you don't want to. All right. So that is that. I'll see you at 2:30 at Gix and classroom 1, and then we'll come back at around about 3:15. And I'll show you how to do a bit of couching, and that'll be on the Janome. So I'll show you how to do that. But yeah, she's all quilted and quilt as you go, baby. Quilt as you go. See you soon, guys. Thanks.